Today's Saturday and it is the first day of a long weekend because Monday is Memorial Day. And I think me and Ricky today are going to do some bookish things, so I want to take you along with us. I think the first thing we're going to do is probably going to get lunch because it took me quite a while to get ready this morning. So we're both hungry. And I want to go to Barnes & Noble because I want to get 2 books. One book is by Anna Huang, the other one is by Kennedy Ryan. And hopefully that's the only 2 books that I am getting from Barnes & Noble. And the next thing that I want to do is to unhaul a few books. There's this used bookstore called Las Vegas Books that usually take used books, so we can either get a cash or a trade credit or a store credit or something like that. I've never done it before, but I have a few books where I have multiple copies of, just because when I went thrifting, I didn't know that I already have the books, so I got them when I see them at a thrift store. So I'm gonna go to that store. Hopefully I can get some trade credit because they just restock their romance section as well as their YS section. I think there are gonna be some books that I want to get because they posted a photo a few days ago that they restocked the whole section. And when I skim through the image, I think I see a couple things that I want. So hopefully we'll be able to do that today as well. Anyways, right now I need to go head downstairs before Ricky gets mad because he's already waiting in the car. And let's start the day. So I was wrong. I guess we're gonna go to Barnes & Noble first, and then we're gonna get lunch, and then probably Las Vegas Books. I'm only gonna get 2 books hopefully, and I already have a screenshot on my phone to see which books that I need to get, and then let's see if I get any more books. Okay, let's go. Alright, so we left Barnes & Noble. I did only get those 2 books that I said I was gonna get. However, we stopped by the cafe and they do have a new what is it called, $5 cafe book, so I decided to get it because Ricky was getting coffee. So 3 books so far, and I didn't really buy any other books, so I think that's good. And now we're gonna try and see if we want to grab lunch first, and then we're gonna stop by the Las Vegas Books next after lunch. So let's go. Are at Las Vegas Books. That used books like sign, the store is underneath it. But before I go in, I want to show you all of the ones that I'm planning to trade or get like store credit for. I'm not sure how they are doing it. I think they said that they take cookbooks. I do have this Cravings by Chrissy Teigen from like a while ago, and then I have this Lynn Painter's The Do-Over copy that is hardcover, but I just purchased the Barnes & Noble special edition like a few months ago, and I don't need to copy, so I'm gonna try and see if I can get a credit for this as well. I also have a hardcover copy for this book. I already have a paperback, and I think I accidentally get the paperback one because I didn't know that I have this one already, and to be honest, I like paperback better than hardcovers. Alright, the next book is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I do have 2 copies of this, and obviously I don't need 2. Last but not least, The Cruel Prince. I do have 2 copies of this because I decided to get a box set for the whole series. able to get, I think, about $11 in store credit. I was able to get 6 books, I think, for 20 something dollars, including the credits. So I'm not mad about that. I will show you guys later all of the books that I got from Las Vegas Books as well as from Barnes & Noble, but I will see you at home. Alrighty friend, we are back home and it is time for a quick book haul. So let's just go right into the books that I bought today. Let's go with the Barnes & Noble Cafe book first. This is the, I think, May and June Barnes & Noble Cafe book. It is actually like a pretty thin novella. I think it's only 101 pages and it is for $5. It's called Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. I think this is kind of like a thriller, maybe mystery novella. And I told Ricky that it looks like it's a scary book, but he said, no, it doesn't look so scary. So we'll see once I read this novella. So if you want to go to Barnes & Noble and get the Barnes & Noble Cafe books and you're collecting them, I kind of started collecting them since the beginning of this year, so this is the 3rd book that I have. It's this one, and it's available at the cafe, so if you stop by at Barnes, make sure to stop by also at the cafe. So the next one that I got from Barnes & Noble is The Striker by Anna Huang. This is the first book in this series. I don't really know what the series is called, and it's a pretty thick book though. So we shall see when I'm going to be able to read this, but I have never read anything from Anna Huang before. I did buy the first book in the Twisted series. Anna Huang is doing kind of like a special giveaway with the 2nd book of this series called The Defender. So I pre-ordered that book and I decided to go to the store and get the first book because I want to read the first book before the 2nd book comes out, which is gonna be in October. The last book from Barnes & Noble that I got is Kennedy Ryan's latest book, Can't Get Enough. And I wasn't gonna get it because I did purchase the first 2 books and I have them behind me somewhere in my library, and I was gonna wait until I at least read the first book to get the last one, but I decided to just get it anyway because I feel like I will love her books. I'm going to try to read the first book hopefully soon, maybe in June or July, so I can continue reading this book series. The next 5 books I got from Las Vegas Books, and some of these books actually have been in my TBR for a while, and I know I've seen them before at Las Vegas Books and I didn't get it, but now that they have it on the shelf, I decided to pick them up before somebody else did. So the first book that I got is Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. I recently got The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, and I feel like they're kind of in the same universe or era or something because the cover like graphic is pretty similar. And I know this one, I actually added them on my TBR list like last year. The next one that I got is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I did get the first 2 books already in my collection. I read the first one in May this month, so I'm hoping to be able to finish reading the series hopefully this year. I was actually trying to get this from Book Outlet because Book Outlet was having a 15% off sale I think last week or something, but it never went back in stock. The next one that I got is another Frederick Backman's book. This one is called Britt Marie Was Here. I just really love A Man Called Ove and I want to continue reading his books. I know I have a couple other ones, I think Anxious People and My Grandma was telling me to tell you sorry or something like that. I forgot what it's called, but it's a long title. When I see this at the shelf at Las Vegas Books, I decided to get them. The next book that I got is called In the Holidays by Christina Lauren. I have actually added this book to my TBR list again for a long time. Book Outlet does have this in stock, but it's one of the pocket books, so I think it's a really small one, so it's gonna be probably pretty thick. And I couldn't find it anywhere else. I was trying to go to some of the thrift stores, hoping that this would be there, but I saw it in stock today or on the shelf today at Las Vegas Books, so I decided to pick it up. A lot of people rave so much about this book, and it is a holiday book, so I am probably gonna keep this for kind of like my December read, but I finally have this in my hand. Okay, the last book that I got from Las Vegas Books is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I honestly wasn't going to get into this series because I think there's like is it 6 or 10 books? I feel like it was 10 books. I feel like that's a pretty long series, and it is a YA romance novel, I think, and I have a bunch of them already that I haven't read, but I see this on shelf at Las Vegas Books and I just cannot pass it. So I'm gonna try and read this eventually, and if I like it, then I will continue the series. That is all I have for today's book haul. I am pretty happy that I was able to stick to my book list at Barnes & Noble and only get 3 books total. And I'm also pretty happy that I was able to kind of trade in my books that I'm not gonna read because I already have a couple copies of the same book, which I know I should check with my Libib app before going to buy any books so I don't have, you know, duplicates. But I was happy to get, you know, some of these books that I know I've been hunting down, and also of course supporting my local bookstore. If you want me to do more vlogs, make sure to like this video to let me know, and I guess I will see you next time. Bye!